Joined now by our buddy Mark Kaboly from The Athletic, our Steelers insider. Mark, how you doing, buddy? Have a good weekend?
Oh, great weekend. How about you guys?
Doing good, man. You got the kids running around. We were just talking about that off the air. Summer is very busy. You look at the calendar and you think, oh, summer, it's going to be great. Long days. You'll be able to relax. Nope.
Actually, the kids' last day of school's today, so a little behind schedule. And it starts, I believe, in late August, so it's not much of a summer anymore.
Man, what happened?
I'm not complaining.
Really? You like your kids being around? That surprises me.
Well, no, I'm not complaining that it's only a 5-week or 6-week off season here for school, getting back to school.
Oh,
right?
I see what you're saying. So it was what I thought that you would say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it
First
throws
couple days are good.
It throws a total wrench in planning purposes.
Well, Mark, you have the ability to not have to deal with that for at least a month because you have to report to training camp and stay up there, right? And now training camp is what? The practices are at 10:30, and you tweeted out the other day saying that, oh, no, this is significant, something of that nature. What's so significant about 10:30?
Well, they've never done that before, honestly. They did it maybe a couple times a couple years ago. That was just to avoid the weather, so I'm not quite sure why they did move them. I believe half of them, a little bit more than half, 10 of the 16, have been moved from 3 o'clock to 10:30, which now means the walkthrough is different. I don't know if they're trying to avoid weather or if there's just some sort of different thought behind how Arthur Smith or whoever changing things up of how they want to do it. But I don't know. I'm a little curious about the 10:30 thing here, right?
You got to love it, though.
I would love it as a player.
Oh, the heat difference is substantial.
Just getting it out the way.
And that.
I don't have to sit around all day and then go practice like at 3 o'clock. It's like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
It used to be later than that. It used to be 3:55. They moved it to 2:55, but now we're going 10:30. But there's going to have to be walkthroughs sometime. I mean, I'm curious to find out tomorrow when Tomlin talks. Not tomorrow. Yeah, it's Tuesday. Of why he decided to do that. I mean, there has to be a logical reason of why they moved it more than just dealing with the heat.
Is anything going to change in minicamp? I mean, or is it just week 4 of OTAs basically?
No, it changes significantly. I mean, first of all, it's a longer session. I mean, you're looking a 8+ hour day for them to come in. They run it sort of like a week. I mean, they'll have their Wednesday practice, their Thursday practice, and basically their Friday practice as well. They'll be on the field 2.5 hours compared to about 90 minutes.
Does every player have to speak now, Mark? So, like,
Well, they have to, but it doesn't mean they will.
Okay. Well, that doesn't seem like it jives. Like, what I'm wondering is, like, will we hear from Najee Harris this week?
I don't know. Here's the issue. The coaches will actually talk tomorrow and Wednesday, and honestly, this is the first time Arthur Smith talks in a setting where you're allowed to ask him about somebody other than who he drafted since he got hired here in February. So sometimes those other guys take a secondary seat here coming up, especially tomorrow with, like I said, all the offensive coaches and Danny Smith talking with obviously the special teams situation, a little bit of an interest. So I'm sure we'll try, but I don't know if he'll talk or not.
Are you interested to see, or do you take any credence into maybe depth charts in minicamp? Because minicamp is a little bit more real than OTAs, but will you take any credence into maybe Faltano being the starting right tackle or Roman Wilson being the starting slot? Like, will you pay attention to that at all?
Well, if it changes from what we saw the past 4 weeks, and you have, the radar gets up a little bit right now, but I wouldn't anticipate that. I mean, I would imagine he just moves forward here as in, how long you've been in the league and how long you've been with the team. And we'll deal with the other stuff here come in late July and in August. So I wouldn't anticipate much of a change. Now, you might see some more one reps because there's more reps to go around now in a team type of setting. But if we're just talking about, first time out there, I would anticipate everything being the same.
Do you think the Steelers, and Mark Kaboly is our guest here on the Fan Morning Show, our Steelers insider from The Athletic, are the Steelers expecting Cam Sutton to have to serve some sort of suspension?
I would assume so. If not, then they got a really good deal, right? I mean, I would assume that they have a pretty good idea of where this suspension is, or at least the length of it. Because if you're going to get a guy and you're going to bring him into this organization, you at least want to know where you stand at. And, the Steelers have their internal security, and they have, Art Rooney's pretty much dialed in with the league. I don't have to tell you. So they probably pretty much know where it's at and how long it's going to be. It's just a matter of when and how long. I wouldn't anticipate it being, a half a season, because if so, then they wouldn't have brought him in.
Right. Do you think that this precludes them from adding another player to that corner room? Like, does this mean Patrick Peterson's not going to be a Steeler, or do you think that the door is still open on something like that?
I think it waits. I think they'll wait now. I mean, Patrick Peterson, just his example, what is he, 35, 36? He doesn't need to come in until September 1st, right? So they'll let these guys get reps throughout training camp and the offseason. And if they deem that, hey, we need some help there, or if somebody gets cut or you can trade for somebody come September 1st, they'll definitely add a person there. But I don't think you need to actually go find anybody right now. They could just wait.
So say Cam Sutton is like suspended, say 4 games. He's allowed to be there though, right? He's allowed to practice, right?
That's a good question. I am not 100% sure on that one. I think so. I think back in the day they weren't allowed to. I'd have to look that up though. But I believe he would be allowed to be around, just to not be able to participate. But I know they change those rules quite often. So that's a good question, Doran.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know.
Look at that.
I hope this is a good question. Cam Heyward, anything there? You hearing anything? Any scuttlebutt? They getting closer on a deal? What might it look like?
I think it'll be done. I think it'll be done before camp. If it's not done before camp, darn close before camp. And that's just my anticipation right here. I mean, I've been saying it forever. Both of them are going to have to come off of their number a little bit right now, whatever that is. But I think they'll get it done. Cam wants to be here, and the Steelers want him to be here. They need him. So, I mean, they're grown adults. They're humans. They know what needs to be done here to be able to bring him in here. It does Cam Heyward no good just to sit out and play out the season, in my opinion, and does the Steelers no good to just move on from him and just let him do, see what he does this year and revisit it next year. So I think it's just a lot to do about nothing right now. And I think eventually it will get done here. I mean, like I said, if it's a weekend of camp, it's a weekend of camp. But I think it will happen.
Mark, we appreciate you waking up with us today, man. Thanks a lot.
I know. I appreciate getting that invite to Pump golf outing.
You don't golf.
You got to take that up with him.
You know what? You didn't get invited either, Crowley. So.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to lash out a little bit. Thank you, Mark. Talk to you soon.
Guys.
That's Mark Kaboly of The Athletic. I am as intrigued by term and a contract as I've been in a long time with this Cam Heyward thing. Like Mark says, he feels like it's going to get done before training camp, and he says both sides are going to have to give a little bit. If they get it done, I can't wait to see what it looks like. If it's just an incentive deal or if they're going to pay him like a top 5 player. I can't imagine that they will.
I can't imagine that. I think it's right in the line where we've been talking about. Yeah. More incentive based, probably on the back end.
Yeah. Tear up this deal.
Give them some more money up front here. Then the next year, give them an incentive lative. That's the right word?
Laden.
Lative. What is lative?
I think you combine incentive and laden.
Yes.
Incentive laden.
Give him a contract that he can work for.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Make him sing for his supper.
Yes.
Give him a 2-year deal, but the second year, like, hey, you better play, and you got to play well. That way you make the most money possible. All right, that was newsworthy, though. Mark saying he thinks it'll get done before training camp. I'd like Najee Harris to speak as well, but it doesn't sound like Mark is optimistic about that.